All right, what is going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Mac Mini M2 Pro Edition. And thanks for the sponsor for helping me out to get this product here with me today. That would be Nobody. Now, this video might be a little bit on the shorter side of things, mainly because in my traditional unboxing, I have a display, keyboard, speaker, etc., things like that to test. But with the Mac Mini, I'm really just getting the computer itself. So I have all the other peripherals that I need, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get with the unboxing experience. All right, so just keep in mind, this has the upgraded CPU and GPU. So we have 12 CPU cores and 19 GPU cores. But let's go ahead and get this unboxed and see what we are working with. Gotta give credit where credit is due, and as always, this was designed in California. Oh my God, made in Malaysia. We're moving places. So this is the Mac Mini. Apple always makes it so slow to take out. All right, so this is the Mac Mini, and as much as I love the Mac Mini, I would love Apple to do some type of space gray color with this thing instead of just only selling silver. But let's continue with the unboxing experience. So we just lift this tab up, pulls out pretty much everything else that we need. Doubt we get any stickers. It would be nice if we did though. Yep, we just get one fat silver sticker. That's great. Here is our trusted power adapter. Get out of here. So once again, just so you guys can see, this is designed by Apple in California, made in Malaysia. So do keep in mind about where your Apple products are being made now, because Apple is actually moving out of China. Now, people said I was slacking because I don't smell the products anymore, but apparently, not apparently, scientifically, it has been proven that chemicals in terms of what is being put on these devices to clean them off during the manufacturing process, just the manufacturing process in general, smelling metal is actually pretty bad and can lead to some health problems. Doesn't smell like anything, honestly. But let's look at the port selection that we have here on the back of the Mac Mini, because we have some new upgrades. So obviously we have the power button, power adapter. This is a gigabit Ethernet, it's not 10 gig. We have 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, beautiful. I think this is a 2.1 HDMI port, and then we have some regular USB-A ports, and then a headphone jack. Then some ventilation for the fan to cool off that M2 Pro. Beautiful, simple design. Another thing that I wish the Mac Mini had was some type of interface on the front. Even if it was just one Thunderbolt port or a headphone jack, that'd be perfect, but all that stuff lives in the back. Anyway, let's get this thing plugged in. Now, I do apologize in advance if there is some type of white hue right here. It's just the studio light is hitting it. So, all right, without further ado, let's power this sucker on. Should hear the Apple thing. Why am I not hearing the Apple thing? There we go. All right, and for those curious, I don't even know where my face is on the camera. This is an LG 4K monitor. I believe it does have HDR support. If you guys are curious, I'll have it linked down in the description below, but to be honest, might not even recommend this thing because it's not turning on. There we go, and it is detected on HDMI 1, and we should see the Apple home screen. Boom. All right, so just like Apple in the Apple Store, everything that I have for Apple lives in some type of drawer. So I have my Magic Keyboard here and my, what's that thing called? Trackpad. I believe it's asking for the Magic Mouse, which I don't have because that's probably one of the worst products Apple has ever made. And I'm just gonna plug this in here. And once again, like I said, it would have been nice if we had some type of Thunderbolt on the front or some type of USB-C. But we gotta live with what we got, so I'm just gonna plug this in. And we should have support if I had this thing turned on. Just like that, we have a mouse support. It's actually really hard to control this looking this way. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I believe once I have this unplugged, it's going to be still synced, which is great. So we are gonna set up in English here. All right, so I'm actually going to use the Migration Assistant in order to transfer information from my M2 Air over to this Mac Mini, so just bear with me while this stuff gets transferred over. All right, the process is getting started. That MacBook is pretty full. I think it's like 240 gigs, so it's pretty much maxed out on the storage. So I'm gonna guess, since this is connected with Thunderbolt, it's gonna take like 35, 45 minutes. So I'm just going to let this go. All right, so we are finally in the computer, and as always, we need to start up the dynamic wallpaper. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this one. What I'm going to do is go to my downloaded one, and I actually like this one. This one's probably one of my favorites. All right, so doing a quick read and write test here on the Mac Mini M2 Pro, and as you guys can see here, since this does have 512 gigabytes of storage, you are going to be limited to around that 4,000, 4,700 write speed. And then in the reads, it's going to be around that 3,000. So I would assume, see, as you can see, it's 4,600. If you were to pay for the 1 terabyte version, you're going to get to see those speeds hit almost 7,000 on the write and 5,000 on the reads. So with this out the way, I just want to see if everything really fully transferred over. So I'm just going to run Docker real quick. And I just want to see if my Home Assistant is in fact running. So Docker desktop is starting. I don't have anything crazy running on here at this point in time. I probably should back this up so you guys don't see. But if I click on this, should be localhost, and boom, that is my apartment. And if I wanted to go to the living room and turn up the lights. Oh, wow, that's the living room. I'm an idiot. I meant to say kitchen. So if I go into the kitchen and I switch off this plug, lights back there should turn off. All these lights should turn off. So Home Assistant with the Migration Assistant ended up working fine. So I am getting a little bit sidetracked here because I'm not talking enough about the Mac Mini itself. So this is, once again, just the first impressions of the Mac Mini. And I want to say that the Mac Mini is finally getting some love because it's always been a machine that is more than capable than what Apple has been putting it in there. Obviously with M1, I guess they were testing out the waters to see, hey, can this machine actually cool off the chips that we were putting in there? And believe it or not, they moved up to the M2 Pro, and I think this is a compelling product that people can in fact buy if they don't want to shell money out for the Mac Studio. As much as I love the Mac Studio, if I had a lot of money, I'd own plenty of them, although it's just a little too big for me. I do like the Mac Mini, how it's a little bit more compact, and once again, I will give credit where credit is due, and a machine this powerful and a device that is this small is very impressive. And respectably, is that even a word? Respectfully, nearly silent when under various workloads. And I think that should be a thing that Apple should get praise for. In terms of window machine, I really don't know what could rival this, if I'm gonna be honest. But once again, Apple, this is very good job. If I could give any suggestions for the Mac Mini, which I know more than likely you're probably not going to do, it would be to have some type of interface in the front here. Maybe if it's the power button, maybe if it's one type of port on the front that we can connect to. I don't know if the main use cases of Mac Minis are for them to be stored away somewhere in a closet, to be in a server, but overall, in terms of a sleek design, the Mac Mini is great, but a port on the front would be great. Although, with that being said, it does have a speaker.
Bishops, Anish does this. He cannot take because of this. By the way, if you ask me why Anish played Bishop B5 and then Bishop C4, I can't answer that. I really don't know.
I also can't answer the fact of why these speakers are just a little bit tinny and not that loud. You would think from how big the vent is on the back that the speakers would be louder, but once again, I'd say people who are buying this machine, you more than likely, I don't know why I said more like that, you more than likely have an entire setup ready to go. You just need a Thunderbolt or just to connect a computer to. So I already have a speaker that I can use in order to listen to stuff, but do keep in mind, you get nothing with this other than the power adapter. There's no keyboard, no mouse, no speaker, or not no speaker, no camera like a webcam, a microphone, although, yeah, no microphone as well. I think, let me see, is there a microphone on this thing? Yeah, there's no input, so there's not even a microphone on this thing. So once again, if you are buying this machine, you have to have all the peripherals ready to go. So the last thing that I want to point out here is because I've seen some comments about some college students or upcoming college students that are saying, wow, the Mac Mini is a great deal. Should I buy this or a MacBook? And as much as a value product this is because of its price point, if you intend to go to class, you should probably bring a laptop. I know this is great, but a laptop is going to serve you well, not only in your college life, but in the, I want to say afterlife, but after college as well. So if you're debating between a Mac Mini and a laptop is going to win 9 times out of 10 if you tend to go to class. With that being said, if you're doing work from home, I would still even argue that a laptop is still way better than getting a Mac Mini simply because it's cheaper. Sure, it's cheaper. You probably have all the stuff ready to go, but if you really value portability and the freedom to work wherever you want without having to bring everything, you can just get a MacBook instead. With that being said, the MacBook also has the capabilities of being plugged in through a Thunderbolt cable, and now I'm rambling, so I'm just gonna cut this part of the video out. All right, so that pretty much wraps up my first impressions of the Mac Mini. I would say this is definitely a more professional grade machine than it was before, and I'm happy to see Apple put in more pro level components inside. Would be nice to see space gray once again, or like a black would be nice, but with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, much love. I will have some type of buyer's guide upcoming in the next few weeks. That's really weird, but as always, you guys know the deal. Sub, and you will see the video once again. I'm gonna get an apple from back here. Let me put this monitor away. This was a horrible idea, actually, so let me just... Apple, you did a good job, so I'm gonna eat an apple for you guys doing a good job. I'd even talk about the old Mac Mini and what's new in this one. New chip, obviously with M2 Pro level CPUs are now being an option in the Mac Mini, finally. There's Bluetooth 5.3, I don't think that really matters. There's Wi-Fi 6E, once again, I don't think it matters too much. And HDMI 2.1, great. That's it.